Okay, this is a recap of today's lesson, and we're going to start investigating the properties of logs. So we're going to focus on three main properties today. They are the properties that when you have addition, you can condense down to one log using multiplication, or you can actually break apart multiplication using addition. So just remember that multiplication goes with addition, and then if you have division, it goes with subtraction. And then the final property is dealing with a power. The power of V here can come out front. So I'm going to demonstrate all this for you in this video. So I'm going to go pretty quickly, but if you need to, by all means, pause it and kind of rework the problem, make sure you understand it. Okay, there is an order of operations, and it's different when you are expanding versus condensing. So we'll do some condensing in just a second. So expanding is when you want to break apart the log that's given to you into as many logs as necessary. So here, what we have going on is 2 is being multiplied by x. And I'm going to basically undo this multiplication using addition. So remember that multiplication goes with addition. So multiplication goes with addition. So I'm going to break this apart as log base 3 of 2 plus log base 3 of x. So it has been expanded, and that's all we need to do. So in this particular problem, there's only one thing to deal with, and that was the multiplication. Okay, number 2, we have division, and remember division, you're going to do subtraction. So this is the second property. So I have division, and I break it apart with 2 logs, and remember it's always a log minus another log. So it's log base 2 of x minus log base 2 of y, just like that. And in this problem, there was only the one operation of division. Number 3 is the third property, which says if you have an exponent, you can bring it down front. So this would be 8 times the log base 5 of x. And that's all you do. You just bring the power down front. Of course, these get a little bit more complicated because we're going to start combining them. So we'll have to use the order of operations when we do that. Okay, let's look at number 4. So for number 4, we're going to recognize that we have a couple of things going on. We have division, 3x is being divided by 7, and 3 is being multiplied by x here. So what I'm going to do is do the division first. Remember, division is subtraction, multiplication is addition, and power just means to bring down front. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is log, and the base is an understood 10, of course, because this is our common log from yesterday. So we have log of 3x minus log of 7. And then I need to undo this multiplication now using addition. So log of 3 plus log of x, and then it's just going to be minus log of 7. So because I had the multiplication and the division, I ended up with 3 separate logs. Okay, the next one, let's see what we have going on here. We have multiplication. 4 is being multiplied by x to the 5th. So there is no division, so move on to multiplication. So multiplication is going to be broken apart with addition. So log of 4 plus log of x to the 5th. And then the final thing is to bring this power down front. So it's going to be log of 4 plus the 5 will come down front, 5 times the log of x. And I'm just going to kind of jump around and do a few more of these just to give you the idea of what we're doing here. Number 8 is a good one to look at because it does look a little weird, but it's not really. So if you remember from last week, probably the week before because of the snow days, remember that log of the square root of x is really x to the 1/2. Then I have a power, and that's really all I have in this problem. This power of 1/2 is going to come down front. So if you follow the order of operations, it really does help you. Let's look at number 7 because there's a lot going on here. So I have multiplication. So I have several things being multiplied. So I'm going to first break apart log of 6 plus log of x cubed plus log of y plus log of z. and then this power comes down front. So really the only thing that will happen is the 3 will come down there, and that will go away. So that would be your final answer there. All right, so that's pretty much what we need to do for expanding. So we're going to also discuss condensing as well. So the only other one I might want to do here is log of x to the 3/4. And in fact, why don't you pause the video, and I want you to do these 3 U-tries and then come back and check your answers. Okay, so I'll finish up with the number 11 that I started. So it's going to be 3/4 times the log of x, and that's all you have to do for that one. Number 10 only has division, so log base 6 of 10 minus log base 6 of 3. So that's all there was to do. Here I've got division, which I do first. Division I replace with subtraction. So the next thing would be to bring the power down front. The 2 comes all the way out front, and I have 2 times log of x minus, now this is one that you may not recognize, but there's an understood 10 there. So this is going to simplify down to the number 1. So this will just be a minus 1. So we're kind of blending what we did yesterday with expanding. So you still need to be able to evaluate or simplify logs. So remember from yesterday, the reason this simplifies down to 1 is because 10 to the first is 10. So that's why this all simplified down to 1. Okay, now let's do some going the other way, which will basically be, instead of expanding, we're going to condense. And the order of operations is just going to reverse. So we'll just look at some of those. So the very first thing you deal with is powers, and then multiplication, then division. And remember, multiplication still goes with addition, division still goes with subtraction. And powers, basically that's saying you're going to take it back up as an exponent. So you're going to take it up. So for example, number 2, this 3 will come up here as an exponent. This 5 will come up here as an exponent. We'll get to that one in just a second. So this one only has division. So it's log base 5, and it's going to be 8 divided by 12. This will simplify down to 4/3. So this will be log base 5 of 4/3. And that would be your final answer there. This one we're going to bring our powers up. So I put a 3 there, and I put a 5 there. So I'll rewrite it just to make sure you understand. We are now dealing with the next step, which is replace this addition with multiplication. So it's going to be log, and then I'm condensing down to 1 log, and I have x cubed y to the 5th, just like that. And this would be your final answer. Okay, again, your exponents, you bring those up first. And then this addition, I'm just going to replace with multiplication. And this would be your answer. And you want to put the coefficient in front of the variable just like we always have. Okay, the next one. I have a power of 10, so it comes up. And I have a power of 2, so it comes up. So I'm down to log of x to the 10th, and remember there's an understood 10 here, plus log of 10 squared. So then 10 squared is really 100, so I'm going to use the addition, replace it with multiplication down to 1 log, and it's going to be 100 times x to the 10th power. And let me do number 5. It's a little tough one. So I'm going to bring the power of 2 and apply it to the 1/2. So let me write this out for you. Log of 20 plus log of 1/2, and then that is going to get squared. So remember, you're going to square the 1 and you're going to square the 2. And you need to simplify this. So I'm going to end up with log, and all 3 of these are going to get multiplied. So I'm going to have the number 20 times 1/4, because that's 1/2 squared, and then of course I still need the times x. So this is going to simplify down to log, and then 20 divided by 4 is 5x, and that would be your final answer. The next one, log of 16 over 4, and you do want to simplify that down to log of 4, and that is your answer. Okay, let's jump down to the U tries and pause the video and then come back and check your answers. So the only thing going on here is the subtraction, so I replace it with division. So I have log base 5, and then I have x over 2, and I usually use parentheses to kind of just make it a little bit neater and apparent what we're doing here. Number 9, I have 3 things going on, the addition and then the subtraction. And remember, we're going to deal with this one first because our order of operations. So it's going to be log base 3, and m gets multiplied by 2. So 2m, and then minus log base 3 of n. Then I combine these using division. So 2m over n, and again use parentheses to tidy it up. Now this has several things going on. The very first thing we deal with is powers always, so this 3 is kind of gone. But also parentheses, and as long as you have been doing simplifying in math, you know to do the parentheses first. So log base 7, and then the 4 and the y get multiplied. And this is x cubed. So now I'm down to combining these 2 values, but I'll use division because of the subtraction. So log base 7, and then it's x cubed over 4y. Again, put it in parentheses. And that is basically what we did today in class, and we're going to spend tomorrow practicing this, reinforcing this, making sure you get these properties because we use these a lot this unit.